Welcome to Madhu's Online Academy. In today's class, we are going to learn about some of the important presidents of Indian National Congress, those who served as, who worked as presidents for two terms, as well three times. And apart from that, we also know the English presidents of Indian National Congress sessions, right? So this is Indian National Congress part 2 video class. So Indian National Congress. So now let us learn about the presidents, those who acted as, who worked as, who presidents of INC for two terms. So the first among them was Sir William Wedderburn. Sir William Wedderburn. Remember, Sir William Wedderburn. Sir William Wedderburn was the first English president who served for two times. Here, aspirants try to understand the difference. The first English president of INC session was, George Uley. And this INC session was held in the year 1888 at Allahabad. So he was the first English president of our Indian National Congress session. And coming to Sir William Wedderburn, he was the second English president of Indian National Congress sessions. But one more time, apart from Bombay 1889 session, apart from that, he also served as the president of INC of Allahabad session which was held in the year 1910. So he was the first English president who served for two times as the president of Indian National Congress sessions held at Bombay in the year 1889 as well Allahabad in the year 1910. You have to remember, right? Next one, the another important person, remember here, Rasbhari Gosh. So he also worked as the president of INC for two terms. First was at Surat session, which was held in the year 1907, and second was in the following session, which was held at in the following year also, of course, at Madras in the year 1908. So Rasbhari Gosh served as the president of INC in 1907 as well 1908. The sessions were held at Surat and Madras respectively. Here, what is the significance of our Rasbhari Gosh? Let us look into that area also. As we know very well that, Rasbhari Gosh, so preside over Surat INC, that is Indian National Congress session held in the year 1907 AD, in which, Indian National Congress split into two groups, namely moderates and also extremists. Okay, so remember, for the first time, so INC split into two groups as moderates and extremists at Surat session held in the year 1907 AD, which was presided by our Rasbhari Gosh. And also here I want to add you some more information which is related with this. Here, as we know that, so in this session, first time, split occurred in Indian National Congress, okay? But when these two groups, reunited, in which year? So let us learn. So in the year 1907, there was a split occurred in the INC, and INC divided into moderates and extremist groups. Again, in the year 1916, at Lucknow session, So both moderates and extremists reunited, okay, merged, remember this, okay. And this session was held, as you know, at Lucknow in the year 1916. This was presided by A.C. Majumdar. A.C. Majumdar. Right. A.C. stands for Ambika Charan. Okay. So first, INC split occurred in 1907. 1907 Surat session, which was presided by our Rasbhari Gosh. And again, both, moderates and extremists reunited, merged. So, particularly in the session, in the IN session held at Lucknow in the year 1916, which was presided by Ambika Charan Majumdar, with the great efforts of some of the important personalities, namely Bala Gangadhar Tilak, Annie Besant, and other leaders. So with their efforts only, this was all made possible. This reunite of both moderates and extremists possible in this session. Remember this very carefully. Next one. So here now we are going to know about the presidents of INC sessions who worked for 3 terms. 3 terms, remember, 3 terms. For example, here, Dadabhai Naoroji. So, Dadabhai Naoroji. So, he, first time he presided over the 1886 INC session, which was held at Calcutta, remember. And also, apart from this, second time, he also presided over Lahore session, which was held in the year 1893. And third time and last time also he served as a president of INC session, which was held at Calcutta in the year 1906. Okay, 3 times, he was the first president of INC sessions who served for 3 terms. Who served for 3 terms as president of INC sessions. First was, at Calcutta 1886. Second was at, Lahore 1893, and third was at Calcutta in the year, which was held in the year 1906. Remember this carefully. So here, let us know some important details about our DB Naoroji, that is our Dadabhai Naoroji. Dadabhai Naoroji was a Parsi. So who followed the religion of the Parsis was Zoroastrianism. As you know that Zoroastrianism was founded by Zoroaster. So those who follow that Zoroastrianism called as Parsis. Actually, this original country is the Persia. Now it is known as called as Iran. So many people from there, came and also settled or started living in India, in particular in the Western India, particularly Gujarat area, Maharashtra area in particular. Of course, in other areas of India also, they are residing, including Hyderabad, right? So including in the many parts of North India also, in South India also, right? But mainly they concentrated in the Western India only. So of them, Dadabhai Naoroji was very one of the important leaders who also played an important role in a Indian national movement against the British Raj, right? So he was a Parsi, remember, he is also known as Grand Old Man of India. Dadabhai Naoroji also known as Grand Old Man of India. And remember, Dadabhai Naoroji was the first Indian who was elected as the member of parliament for, House of Commons in London, remember. In the year 1892, he was elected as a MP of British Parliament from on behalf of a Liberal Party, and he was elected from Prinsbury, constituency. He was elected from Prinsbury constituency in England and elected in the year 1892 and elected from Liberal Party. So in this regard, so what is the significance for him? Here he was the first Indian who represented in the England Parliament. Remember this very, very carefully, right? So here, as I told you that he was a Parsi, right? So he is known as Grand Old Man of India. Grand Old Man of India. And here, who is known as Grand Old Lady of India? This is called, similar bit, very comparative bit, remember. Dear aspirants, you should remember this. So, Madam Annie Besant. Madam Annie Besant is called as Grand Old Lady of India. Who is known as Grand Old Man of India? Dada Nauroji. And tell me, who is known as Grand Old Man of South India? Are you able to recollect? Right, okay, I'll say. So here, the Grand Old Man of South India is our G.S. Iyer. G.S. Iyer. G.S. Iyer. You can write like this also. So, G.S. Iyer. G.S. Iyer. So, G. Subramanya Iyer, who was one of the founders of, Hindu paper in the year 1878 from Madras area. Okay. So, as we know very well that Hindu paper was founded in the year 1878. So, one of the founders was, G. Subramanya Iyer. He is known as, Grand Old Man of South India. So, Annie Besant Madam known as, called as, famously known as, Grand Old Lady of India. And our DB Nauroji, that is our Dadabhai Nauroji, known as Grand Old Man of, India. Remember this carefully. So now here, it is the context to remind about the, some of the significance of Madam Annie Besant. Actually, Madam Annie Besant, she came to India in the year 1893. She was an Irish woman, Ireland, okay? So she was an Irish woman. She came to India in 1893. Here I want to remind you something about the significance of the year 1893 in our, Indian national movement. So, for example, Indian history, right? So, what is the significance of the year 1893? Just now, as I told you, Madam Annie Besant came to India, who later actually played an important role in the freedom struggle of India against British. Okay, and in the same year 1893, remember that Swami Vivekananda left for Chicago to attend the World Religion Parliament, which was held on 11th September 1893 at Chicago in USA. Remember this carefully. So, whom we are treating as youth icon of India, and his birthday was on January 12th. He was born on 12th January 1863. Remember this carefully. So here we are observing the birthday of great Swami Vivekananda ji as National Youth Day. So on 12th January we are observing National Youth Day to mark the birth date of the great person, great knowledgeable person, Swami Vivekananda ji. Remember this carefully, right? So in this year he left for Chicago to address the World Religion Parliament at Chicago. And also in the same year 1893, our father of Indian nation, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhiji also left for abroad for his higher studies. Later, remember that he came back to India on 9th January 1915. Just remember this year, in which year the Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi came to India. Just remember this year, that is as 1915. Here, in this year 1915, one represent month, that is January, as you know, January. Just remember 1915 as the arrival year of Gandhi to India. from abroad. So in this four numbers, first number represents the month, that is nothing but January month, 1 January month, and next number represents the date, that is 9th January, remember. Okay, so Mohandas Karamchand Gandhiji came back to India on 9th January 1915. So in order to mark his arrival to India in that particular year, so now the Indian government, central government of India, commemorating that day by celebrating as Pravasi Bharatiya Divas, PBD Day or NRI Day, since 2003 onwards. Remember this. So at that time the Indian Prime Minister was Atal Bihari Vajpayee. He only started this festival. That is, in order to mark the arrival of Gandhiji in the year 1915 on the date 9th January, since 2003, Indian government has been celebrating, observing this as, following this as Pravasi Bharatiya Divas or NRI Day, to mark the arrival of our father of Indian nation, that is our Mohandas Karamchand Gandhiji. Remember this. So far I have told you the significance of the year 1893 in the history of India. What was the significance? I want to remind you once again. In the year 1893, Madam Annie Besant came to India. She was an Irish woman who later played an important role in Indian freedom struggle against the British Raj. And in the same year, our Vivekananda left for Chicago to address the World Religion Parliament, which was held on 11th September 1893 AD in America. And also in the same year, our father of Indian nation, that is our beloved Mohandas Karamchand Gandhiji, left for abroad. Remember this, okay? And again he came back in 1915. Already I have told you, right? So this is the significance. So whenever some year or some personality or some event demands you like this, please you try to remind the significant areas in and around that particular year or particular event or particular person or particular organization. Remember this, okay? Got my point? Right. So next one, let us come back to our Annie Besant. Okay. Here why I am telling all this to you means it is occasion. So I created occasion. How? For example, here I am telling you, explaining about the significance of Dada Nehruji as the president of IN sessions held at Calcutta, Lahore, Calcutta in 1886, 1893 and 1906 respectively. Right. So I told you about him. I told you some information about him, and also I have told you that he is known as Grand Old Man of India. And here occasionally I have reminded you who is known as the Grand Old Lady of India. Who is she? Our Madam Annie Besant. Then I have told you something about her, that in which year he came to India and what was the significance of that year in the history of India. In that year she came to India, Vivekananda went to America and Gandhiji left for abroad. Did you understand me? Right. So we go further, right. So Annie Besant, remember that. So she was a great lady, and also remember she also served as elected as the president of Indian National Congress, which was held at Calcutta in the year 1917. Remember. So in this regard, she was the first woman president of INC. You have to remember this. Madam Annie Besant was the first, woman president of Indian National Congress session. As well, she was also the first foreign woman president. Annie Besant was the first foreign woman president, as well first woman president of Indian National Congress session, which was held at Calcutta in the year 1917. You have to remember this carefully, right? Next one, and Annie Besant, remember that Annie Besant also launched Home Rule League movement from Adayar, Madras in the year 1916. Remember, 1916. Even Madam Annie Besant also extensively toured in Madras presidency, as well Andhra region also, because Andhra region at that time was part and parcel of Madras presidency, which was under the control of British. Remember this carefully. So that's why Madam Annie Besant also visited Madanapalli area. Remember carefully this one. Madanapalli, which is in Chittoor district of Andhra Pradesh. So she also visited Madanapalli, so which is now in Chittoor district of Andhra Pradesh, where she established BT College. BT College. So here BT stands for Besant Theosophical College. So in which year it was founded? 1916. Madam Annie Besant, who was an Irish lady who had played an important role in the freedom struggle of India, who fought on behalf of the Indians for their freedom. Okay, so she fought for us. Okay, she fought for the Indians to bring the freedom from India, right, from the British. So she visited, this Madanapalli area, Chittoor district of Andhra Pradesh, where she established BT College. Here BT stands for Besant Theosophical College. Besant Theosophical College. Besant Theosophical College. Remember this. Besant Theosophical College was founded by our Madam Annie Besant at which place? Tell me, at which place? So Madanapalli in Chittoor district of Andhra Pradesh in the year 1916, and its first principal was H.J. Cousins. Its first principal was H.J. Cousins. She also, Madam Annie Besant also founded Central Hindu School at Varanasi in the year 1898, which later developed into, remember here, very very important bit I am going to tell you now. So by the year, or in the year 1916, so it by that year it developed into BHU, stands for Benares Hindu University, with the tremendous efforts of a great scholar, namely Madana Mohana Malaviya. So with the tremendous efforts of Madana Mohana Malaviya, so Central Hindu School, which was founded at Varanasi by Annie Besant in the year 1898, later by the year 1916 it developed into Benares Hindu University with the great efforts of a scholarly man called Madana Mohana Malaviya. Remember this very very carefully. So this is the significance of our Annie Besant. She started, as I told you just now, that she also started a home rule league movement from Adayar Madras, and also she served as the second president of Theosophical Society. Theosophical Society. So Theosophical Society, founded by Madam H.S. Blavatsky, Madam H.P. Blavatsky and Colonel H.S. Olcott. Colonel H.S. Olcott from America, Madam Blavatsky from Russia. These two persons founded Theosophical Society at New York in the year 1875 AD. Remember, later the headquarters of Theosophical Society were shifted to Adayar Madras. Okay, so and up to his death, Colonel H.S. Olcott served as the first and founder president of Theosophical Society. Who was the founder president and first president of Theosophical Society? Colonel H.S. Olcott. So he died in the year 1907, and from 1907 Madam Annie Besant became the second president of Theosophical Society. Theosophical Society. Remember these, important things very carefully, dear aspirants. Right. So this is about Dadabhai Naoroji. Dadabhai Naoroji served as the president of INC for how many times? How many times? 3 times. First was at Calcutta in 1886. And second was at Lahore in 1893. Third was at again Calcutta in 1906. Once again I am reminding you, right? So and he was the first Parsi president of INC. He was the first Parsi president of INC. Remember. Next, as you know very well that Dadabhai Naoroji, along with Dadabhai Naoroji, other Parsis, namely Nauroji Furdonji, Dadabhai Nauroji Furdonji, Vacha, as well SS Bengali, all these people founded Rehunumai Mazdayan Sabha in the year 1851 to reform the Parsis, to reform the Parsis. And also they founded, remember a paper called Ras Gaftar, right? So we'll move on to the next person. Yeah, here J.L. Nehru. Remember, J.L. Nehru was the another president who served as the INC president for 3 times. Remember. So first was at Lahore in 1929. And second time at Lucknow in 1936, and third was at Faizpur in 1937. Remember, the significance of this Faizpur session was here in the history, it was the first INC meeting which was held at a village area. Okay, so it was the first ever INC meeting which was held in the village area. So this village is in Maharashtra. Remember this. Okay, so J.L. Nehru, as we know, who became the first Prime Minister of independent India. Right. So first time he presided over Lahore INC session, which was held in the year 1929, in which the significant things were happened here in this session. The important of them is here Purna Swaraj resolution was passed. So means complete independence resolution. The Indian leadership, particularly Indian National Congress leadership, demanded the British, so give us complete independence, that is Purna Swaraj. So that demand, that resolution was passed in this Lahore session in 1929, and which particularly which demanded the British to give Purna Swaraj, remember very carefully. And next Lucknow session 1936, next 1937 Faizpur session Maharashtra. This was the first IN session which was held in a village area. So J.L. Nehru was the second president who served for 3 times. Who was the first one? Dadabhai Naoroji, 1886 Calcutta, 1893 Lahore, 1906 Calcutta. Next, coming to our J.L. Nehru, 1929 Lahore, 1936 Lucknow, 1937 Faizpur. You have to remember these 2 names very carefully. Those who served as the president of INC for 3 terms. Who were they? Dadabhai Naoroji and just now as I told you, J.L. Nehru, that is our Jawaharlal Nehru. Right. Next, coming to English presidents of INC. Sessions. So here, the first of them was just now in the my introductory remarks also I have told you, I have reminded you, right. So here, remember in the year 1888, George Yule, presided the INC session held at Allahabad, remember, held at Allahabad, right, Allahabad. So, he was the first English president of Indian National Congress session held at Allahabad in 1888. And the second English president of INC was Sir William Wedderburn. And this session was held in the year 1889 at Bombay. At Bombay. Of course, Sir William Wedderburn also served as the president of INC for two times remember. But whereas George Ulay was only one time. Got my point? Right. So, first English president of INC was George Ulay. So, he presided the INC session which was held at Allahabad in 1888. And the second English president of INC was Sir William Wedderburn, and the session was held at Bombay in 1889. And the third English president was Alfred Webb, and the session was held in the year 1894 at Madras. Remember, at Madras. Okay, so Alfred Webb was the third English president of Indian National Congress session, which was held at Madras in the year 1894. And the fourth English president of INC was Sir Henry Cotton, and this session was held in the year 1904 at Bombay. Once again I am reminding you. So the first English president of INC was Sir George Ulay, and the session was held in the year 1888 at Allahabad. Who was he? George Ulay. George Ulay was the first English president of INC. And the second English president of INC was our Sir William Wedderburn. And this session was held at Bombay. In which year? 1889. Next, the third English president of INC was Sir Alfred Webb, and this session was held in the year 1904 at Madras. So was he 1894 at Madras. Alfred Webb 1894. Right. Next, fourth English president of INC was our Sir Henry Cotton. So this session was held at Bombay. In which year? 1904. Okay. So first English president George Ulay, 1888 Allahabad, and second English president Sir William Wedderburn. The session was held at Bombay in 1889. And third English president was Alfred Webb, and this session was held at Madras in 1894. And the fourth English president of INC was our Sir Henry Cotton, and the session was held at Bombay in 1904 AD. So these are the English presidents of Indian National Congress sessions. So this is all for today. Okay, thank you for watching. So before winding up today's class, I want to request you one thing, that is, please if you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, that is Madhu's Online Academy, and share this video to your friends near and dear, those who have been preparing for UPSC, APPSC, TSPSC, SI police constable exams, etc. So I hope that this information is very much useful to you. Please subscribe to my channel, as well like my channel, and also like this video, and also share this video to your friends. Thank you very much once again for watching.